Every October 31st, we engage in a massive psychological experiment. For one night, society collectively agrees to suspend its survival instincts and celebrate the very things that usually signal danger. We call it a holiday, but it functions as a temporary surrender of our natural guard. We willingly break every safety rule we teach during the rest of the year. We open our front doors to strangers, encourage our children to wander through the neighborhood after dark, praising those who go to great lengths to conceal their identities. This tradition relies entirely on the assumption that everyone is playing the same game. But that social contract becomes a weapon the moment a malicious actor realizes that our collective guard has been lowered by design. In a large house in Mississauga, a teenager once lay in bed as a 7-foot-tall figure pushed open their bedroom door. The figure stood perfectly still by the bedside in the dark, whispered, "Boo," and then vanished. It is the kind of story we tell to get a safe, controlled adrenaline rush. That encounter ended without a scratch, leaving only a memory of a ghost. However, the most dangerous figures on this night don't say boo. They are people who have identified Halloween as a window where their presence won't be questioned until it is far too late. By treating every anomaly as a performance, we create a criminological blind spot. Our internal alarm systems don't just fail, we intentionally turn them off. This tendency manifests as a delayed reaction to clear threats. This graph represents how we normally process danger. On any other night, an intruder banging on a window would trigger an immediate call to the police. On Halloween, we lower the bar for what we consider threatening, automatically labeling suspicious activity as a prank until the situation turns violent. One homeowner illustrates this perfectly. At 11 at night, he heard an aggressive pounding at his front door. When he saw no one there, he didn't call for help. He yelled for punky kids to get lost. He assumed he was being ding-dong ditched and eventually went to sleep, despite the knocking continuing for over half an hour. At 2 a.m., the logic of the prank finally collapsed. He woke up to find the knocking hadn't stopped. It had moved. Someone was now inside his house, violently trying the knob of his bedroom door. He was trapped. In a moment of desperation, he used his speaker system to blast the sound effect of a .45 caliber gunshot. He yelled that he was armed, and only then did the intruders flee through his wide-open front door. In another case, a 14-year-old dismissed several heavy-breathing phone calls as a joke. He remained calm right up until his house went dark. A prowler had opened his exterior fuse box and manually snipped the wires. When we normalize intrusions as holiday mischief, we grant criminals a critical window of time to move from the porch into the home. Beyond the home, the holiday forces us to abandon the most basic rules of safety. We spend years teaching children about stranger danger, and then, for one night, we instruct them to do the exact opposite. Two 11-year-old boys were walking over a small wooden bridge when a black Jeep pulled up on the far side, effectively blocking their path. A man with a raspy voice yelled for them to come closer, claiming he needed directions. When the boys ran, a second SUV cut them off. The men inside specifically used the holiday as a lure, yelling that they had free bags of candy to get the kids into the vehicle. The boys only escaped by sprinting to a nearby house and ringing the doorbell until a parent arrived. That same expectation of community trust is what allows strangers to find their way into private spaces. One father, investigating noises in his daughter's room, found a neighbor's son and an older stranger hiding in her closet. The next morning, he realized this wasn't a spontaneous prank. He discovered a small drill hole in the closet door. The intruders had spent the night watching his daughter sleep through a pre-made peephole, hiding in plain sight while the rest of the neighborhood celebrated outside. When we mandate trust on a neighborhood-wide scale, we don't just invite the community to our door. We provide a path for predators to walk right into our lives. But the most effective tool in a criminal's kit on Halloween is the mask. It provides total operational anonymity, allowing a person to act out violent fantasies while blending into a crowd of people doing the exact same thing. At a scare house attraction in a local town, the environment is designed for fake danger. After exiting a maze like this, a group of friends realized a figure in a bloody pig mask had followed them off the property. Because of the mask, they couldn't tell if he was a dedicated employee or a stalker. He followed them for 5 blocks, matching their pace and stopping when they stopped. It only ended when a parent intervened with a firearm. The attraction later confirmed they had no employees wearing that costume. This camouflage becomes even more lethal in crowded settings. At one college Halloween party, the host had spent thousands on props and cardboard walls to turn his home into a dark, chaotic maze. 4 men wearing vendetta masks and fedoras walked inside. They were perfectly hidden by the environment. To the other guests, they were just another group of people who had put a lot of effort into their costumes. The music was cut by the sound of gunfire. The men in masks weren't there for the party. They were there for an armed robbery. By the time the police arrived, 2 students were dead on the floor. The host never recovered from the guilt of allowing the intruders in, and he died of an overdose less than a year later. A mask on Halloween acts as the ultimate alibi. It hides the lethal intent of a stranger until the moment they decide to act. When we look at these accounts, the genuine horror has nothing to do with the supernatural. There were no ghosts or monsters, only people exploiting a holiday to commit crimes they couldn't get away with on any other night. For many who have lived through these events, the holiday is forever changed. They are left with a lasting caution, a realization that the safety they felt during the celebration was an illusion they helped create for themselves. Celebrating the macabre is a tradition, but it shouldn't come at the cost of our awareness. On October 31st, it's worth remembering that the most dangerous people in the neighborhood are the ones who wait until the night is over to take their masks off.